Hello, you're very welcome to AFI Weekly here on the Under Centre podcast. Darragh here with you, joined this evening by Rian and Alex, and we're also delighted to be joined by UCD's head coach, Darragh Farrell. Welcoming him back on the show. Darragh, it's great to have you on. How are you?
Cheers, lads. Good, yeah, good, thanks. There's a bit of madness probably going on downstairs. You can probably hear two little girls bouncing off the wall there. They're supposed to be in bed about half an hour ago, but Dad's putting them down tonight because he had training last night. So I've been bribing them with milk and sweets or cookies and rich tea and everything else and Oreos. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting bedtime now. But other than that, yeah, listen, can't complain. Season's in 11 days, is it? 11, 12 days? 11, 12
About
days.
11
So
days, yeah.
just in the thick, yeah, in the absolute thick of it at the moment. So yeah, other than that, mate, no complaints.
Excellent. Rian, how are you, buddy? It's been, you're saying it's been a long week already and we're only into Tuesday.
Yeah, but at least we're a week closer to the AFI season starting. We're a week closer to the college game, a week closer to the NFL game. So you can't really complain in this situation.
Yeah, I like your perspective there. You tiered it correctly as well. AFI, college, and then
yeah.
I'll let you swap college and NFL if you want, but as long as AFI is top now, that's all that matters. All that matters. And fresh off his start of his interception leading career or year in 2025, Alex Sims, how are you, buddy?
All good, all good. Yeah, for some of us, the season starts in whatever it is, 11 days. For some of us, like us at the Mavs, the season will start for another 40 days, as we have to wait until the end of March to get our first game in. So, yeah, plenty of work to be put in between
I'd
now
nearly
and then.
prefer that, Alex.
Yeah, fair.
I'd nearly prefer a bit more of a preseason, to be honest with you. I think we've got
Mhm.
6 weeks at a push, which is, I think it's twice a session. I think we get 12 sessions, give or take. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah,
not easy.
that's very
but,
much a coach's answer there. I think players are probably in the same boat as me, and they can't wait to get out on the field.
Players, pundits, podcasters, everyone just wants the season now. Coaches, on the other hand, no, we need another 3-4 weeks just to get the scheme down in place. But I don't know there. I think the last couple of years kind of proves that I think you can get your timetable right for when the season starts and get the team going.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have it to a fine tee now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't make any excuses. You know, it's we get 90 minutes Monday and Wednesday, and we milk every single drop of every minute out of those 2 sessions. You know, we try to rob a few minutes extra when the evenings get a bit brighter as well. You know, and when we need to, but with just the influx, the volume of rookies that we have this year, it's just with the times being chewed up, just trying to get lads up to speed and stuff, you know. So it's a good problem to have, but it's also, you kind of get closer going like, Genie, we need to do this, we need to do this. Okay, we can't run this. We're going to have to stick a pin in this one till after the first 2 games, and but that's fine. Once you plan ahead and you're organized, you can get in front of these things.
Mm-hmm. And of course, for anyone that doesn't know, obviously we're coming off last season, Shamrock Bowl champions UCD beating the Dublin Rebels in Dewberry Park, 36-14. It was your 3rd Shamrock Bowl in a row, the 2nd one now that you've won. We're just off as well a preseason scrimmage that you had with the Belfast Trojans on Sunday. How did you feel it went, and were you sort of happy with the outcome?
Yeah, look, it was fine. We had a lot of rust to knock off. We were still resting a lot of lads. I mean, that was probably our 4th or 5th choice O-line. We ended up losing 1 or 2 lads, more senior players. You had to put a rookie in, a tackle and stuff, and that's never easy against the Trojans, but I wouldn't say there was a clear winner or loser on the day. I think we both traded punches fine, which is what myself and Phil wanted. I think we probably would have hoped for a few more slaps in the mouth for lads, you know what I mean, and a bit more, but it was still good intensity. It was good fight all day. What I got to see when I was floating around between, it was great competition throughout the day, and especially on offense and defense in the box drill, which is where we like to do our work. It was really good. Trojans had some really good players there. The running back there is a young guy. It's his first season. He looks really special. He's got the size. He's got the speed. When it clicks from, he'll be something else. And is it Lads, the corner DB kid they have as well? They moved him to a bit of offense as well, and he's going to be he's a special player, So, it was really good day. And from UCD, so I got to see a lot of guys. We got a lot of reps in. We didn't have any too many injuries. We got Stu got a kick in the knee, I think, Stu Wiley. So, he got a stud in the knee, so that was nothing too serious. His leg went numb from the knee down, so we were a bit worried. But after about 10 minutes, he kind of felt all right. But other than that, it was just reps. We gave Aaron a good few reps. We gave Joe a good few reps, and we gave Toig a drive as well at the end there, just to keep the QBs all sharp. But it was great. The young lads got to see how a different team operates. It's after sort of 5 weeks of hitting one another. It's nice to kind of get up against somebody else. So it was great work done on the day. We got some really good footage from both ends, and we got the elevated footage as well from the sideline too. So lots for the coaches to break down and to have a look at. Happy with the day, I have to say.
Excellent. And you kind of went into a bit of detail there in your previous answer, but I'll sort of ask for maybe an expanded one, because at these scrimmages, what is it exactly that you are evaluating? Are you looking more at a chance for players to try out new positions? Are you looking at some of the rookies? Is it trying out new plays that you've drawn up over the off season to see? And also, is it kind of this, maybe just get a sneaky eye in on the competition for this year as well, just to see how they are progressing ahead of your meeting during the year?
I mean, it's kind of all of the above. I mean, myself and Phil, I said, Phil, look, there's nothing we're going to really hold back. I don't see you till week 6, I think it is. And he said, yeah, so there's nothing I'm not going to pull out an ace out of my sleeve, you know what I mean? Some magic play that we haven't ran before then, and vice versa, So it was good to roll things out. We don't really want to be lads. We don't really want lads trying new positions at this stage. That being said, I've actually been chatting to one of the DBs. We're going to move him across to offense now. I think his speed will probably be underused on playing DB where we have, and I think he's too good of an athlete to be where he is. So I'm going to move him to running back. But I mean, that was on the back of yesterday, or sorry, not on yesterday, on the back of Sunday. That maybe there's a little bit, we're lacking a little bit of something on the running back room. Move him across, and get him some reps there, see what he can do. But no, it's a little bit of refine and polish. It's a little bit of get lads in a live situation against different competition. A little bit of aggro there as well. Not too much friendly competition, but it's a little bit more when the lads in different color jersey, different color helmet. It's a different look for rookies to see things, and we had some lads put their hands up. It was really good. We got to see one or two of the receivers there really stepped up. A couple of the DBs stepped up as well. One or two of the linemen were nice surprises too. So yeah, look, the whole package for us was we achieved what we wanted to achieve. The only thing I would have liked was a bit more physical from our defense. But again, look, we have time to work on that. And you can be as sure as the sun will come up tomorrow. We'll be ready to be we'll be physical for the next 2 sessions, and we'll be ready to rock for game 1.
Yeah, and Alex, I want to throw this over to your side, because with Darragh and UCD, obviously they're well established. They have the guys in place that they've had for the last number of years. Whereas for yourself, this is all new head coach, new players, new schemes. How important is it now to have these preseason scrimmages against the Admirals that you had last week, just to get the chance to try out this new scheme against, like Darragh said, different color helmets and different color jerseys and people that aren't your teammates? You're on mute, my friend.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's crucial at this time of year, I think, to get some good competitive, semi-competitive reps under everyone's belt, get everyone rotating in snaps again. We've got a number of rookies as well that you got to bed them in, and you want to do it at this point as well in the season, I think. And yeah, you get to practice your scheme, that you're not running it against the same offense that you kind of like. Certainly on defense, you'd be picking up tendencies of the opposing offense, or you might have guys who play on the offense as well, who know a certain play call, hear it in the huddle, and then there's a little bit of cheating that goes on, naturally enough. So when you're doing it against a different team and a different scheme, it really is a great opportunity to, test what the flaws are in your own scheme and how everyone's fitting to the scheme itself. So yeah, massively important.
And Darragh, back to you. We're 11 days from the start of the season. You're kicking it off against your old rivals. It's sort of the annual curtain raiser between yourself and the Rebels to start the season, but it's a different Rebels this year. Obviously, the well established that we've talked about before, with Ty moving to Loud and a few other players deciding to move on away from the Rebels too. I'm sure you would have heard some of the outside noise in terms of, people are expecting an easy win for UCD because of this. How important has it been for you to stress to your players in the lead up to this that this is not a gimme? This, in fact, could be a trap game, because we have no tape to go off. We have no previous meetings with this new setup to go off to know what's coming our way, and you're going to have to be on it from the first snap to make sure that you're not surprised or maybe not caught short by the Rebels.
Let me just say, there's no ever easy games against the Rebels. Anyone that's ever played the Rebels, and being an ex-Rebel myself that played there for several years, there's never any easy games against the Rebels. The Rebels with different offense, that's fair enough, but that defense is pretty much intact, and they have been the number one ranked defense the last 2 years, I think 3 years. So we absolutely know what we're up against, and I can tell you now, we're taking nothing for granted. The fact that we don't have any tape on them makes it harder, to be perfectly honest with you, because we knew what we were getting the last 3 years. So I knew how to game plan. I got that game plan right sometimes. I got that game plan wrong sometimes. In the end, we would figure it out. We played each other 9 times in 3 years, and it was probably the best rivalry that we've had since Rebels Trojans or UL Trojan. It's been the best one the league has had, and it's, I can kind of move on a little bit, but the lads are still treating this, the vets are still treating this as if we're going into the game, the bowl again, and there's enough cherry on top, sugar on top, whatever you want to call it, that the lads are ready. We've to cover a wider spread. We don't know the quarterback situation. Well, I don't know the quarterback situation there. I don't know the offensive line situation there. I make no secret of it that I went after the offensive line in the Shamrock Bowl. I got a pain in my arse trying to shut down Greg and Dan and Dave King, because it just got too hard to do. I know Dave's away, and Greg's has moved to the States, so Dan's still there. They've still got enough weapons. Greg, Dan is still there, and they've still got plenty of weapons there on offense. They've got a couple of old coaches back, I'm told. So we will absolutely not be taking this game or treating this game any different to the way we treated the Shamrock Bowl. We've lost a couple of guys. We've lost some really key pieces to our team. We've added some really key pieces as well. So it's going to be a different UCD team as well going out there. But there'll be no complacency, and there'll be no easy win ever, in this league, and especially against the Rebels. I can tell you that now from nothing.
Yeah, so obviously we saw the same fixture as the opener for last season. Massive game for both teams. Is this the way you want to start the season? Do you want to start it off with that big event, big clash of the Titans, or would you prefer to start it out slowly as a coach to kind of build your way up to those bigger teams?
Good question, Rain. I mean, I think it got to the stage. I think Paul Kirkwood came over to me at the end of the bowl last year, and he was just like, "We're sick of seeing each other." And it kind of, it was just we played each other so much, and the games are such emotional roller coasters for both teams. That it was like we were just. I think everybody was just so spent at the end of them. But on the flip side, they're the games you want to play. You don't want to be blowing out teams 40, 50. You learn, but you don't really learn, and you don't really enjoy them as much as a 28-23 or a 28, a 30-28, or a good old-fashioned slug match. They're the games we all want to play. It does nothing for my nerves or my stress or anything like that, but those Rebels games have been some of the most enjoyable of my entire career, and that was a really, really good outfit. And we really put it to them, and it really tested us. And again, I made no secret of it that I became a better coach. We became a better team because we had that team to go against. And I'm sure it was vice versa for them. They may have come out better in the regular season, but we came out better at the end of it, and I still think we should have been 3-0 in the bowls, but it's my fault. I take that on the chin. It was my fault that we lost that second one, and you can't leave a good team hanging around, and that's what we did in that second bowl. And they, credit to Toy and credit to them. They came back when they did, and it was there. But no, to answer your question, it was, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. As I say, and I said this all the time, we're only focused on game one. We're not focused on anything else after that.
Alan's not a big fan of your Wi-Fi, Darragh, it seems.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I should have made this an audio pod only. Good grief. Oh, well. Listen, if you can hear me, you can hear me. He doesn't need to. He sees my face every or 2 times a week, and he talks to me probably the same. So it's not too bad. My Wi-Fi is fine. I've got loads of bars here.
Maybe he just thinks we're all ugly. I don't know.
Well,
maybe that too. Maybe that too, Alex. Yeah.
Alex, I think you jumped the gun there a little bit because, I think you're right.
Ugly, he says, yeah.
I don't know. I think we all look great. Maybe not Fionn, but he's not here, so we can say whatever we want about him. He decided to play different sports instead of American football now. Anyway, Rian, just on your side of things, obviously playing so long yourself with the Pirates too, and when you get to this point of the season, of the preseason, I should say, you're 11 days in UCD's case, or 40 days in Alex's case. Split the difference for the Rhinos case, because I think Air Force Games is 16th. What, as a player, what would be sort of your mindset there now? Is it refining playbook? Is it scouting the opposition for week one? What would have been your sort of routine getting ready for the start of an AFI season?
Being so long in the AFI 2, we never really had the resources that the likes of UCD or the Rebels had in terms of game footage, that sort of thing. We never really had any idea what any of our opposition was going to look like prior to week one of the season. And that's being honest, like we never really got game footage from anybody at any stage. So for me, it was a case of personal growth and kind of trying to help grow my teammates as well. So we were always kind of an inexperienced team, a lot of rookie turnover. So I'd want to be making sure that any rookies playing on my side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, that they know their playbook. If they have any questions, they know that they can come to me. I'll run through it with them. And then just getting down to training, getting everything kind of perfect. My big thing was getting the handoff to be absolutely crisp with my running back. Like, that was the most important thing to me. If I'm in sync with my running back, that gives me the platform to then be a better quarterback to open up the passing game. But that's step number one. And maybe it's a little bit too late if you're 11 days out from the start of the season. But certainly 40 days out, that's something you can be working on with your running back and kind of getting that mesh going. So yeah, it's really all about personal improvement at this stage.
Mm-hmm. Darragh, just going for a broader side of things, obviously everyone is well aware of the news of the NFL coming to Dublin in 2025 in Croke Park. We're all obviously eagerly looking forward to the game and, dreading the price of tickets and dreading trying to get in a queue for Ticketmaster to try and get some tickets. But, tell me, how much influence do you think this is going to have on the game moving forward? If it is, in fact, what we hope it's going to be, a regular game, every year, what do you think that could do for the potential of the league here? I don't think you've got me there, have you?
I mean, I'm a Ravens fan, so I couldn't really be bothered with them. But the fact that they're coming over, it's huge. I think it could be. I think we've got such a chance here to make an impact. I think the last time they came over, they donated all their gear. They left tons of stuff for everybody. So if we can get some of that and get gear to the youth Wolfhounds or something like that, you know what I mean, or get gear to youth programs, I think that's where the equipment should go. And I hope it's Ravens Steelers. I don't think it will be, but that would be pretty sweet if it was. But I think it's. I just think I don't think we know how big it can be, to be honest. I think the potential is absolutely huge, and I hope the league can tap into that and definitely make the most of it. And some early release ticket sales, would be for the AFI would probably be nice too. But I think we're all in agreement there. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I know we get pretty unfiltered access to the college teams that come over. I'm not sure we'll get the same access to the NFL team, but that would be pretty awesome to get something like that too. So yeah, it's I think if this goes well, I think it could send us all to the stratosphere for football. I think it really could.
Excellent. And how much influence did you have in getting the game over here? Obviously, with your new best mate Pat McAfee, hanging out with him and J.R. Mattins in the off season. How many times were you in his ear saying, "Get the lads over for a game of football"?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Pat remembers talking to me. I'm not too sure. So look, if I'm sure we're doing quite a bit of stuff with JR on my hands at the moment as well. So if they're hosting it there again, it would be cool to get in again and meet them and meet the lads and probably not have 15 points of Guinness. That would definitely help. I originally drove in because I was so nervous, and I got in and I was so nervous I had to have a drink to calm my nerves. So I ended up having about 3 points with Seamus just to relax myself, because I was literally trembling because I was sort of like the gravity of it all sort of hit me. When I was looking on stage, and he had two guests that day. He had Nick Saban and he had me. So, that was not bad company, to be fair. Not bad company, to be fair, But I never got to meet Coach Saban, which is a pity, because he's one of my, I'm one of his biggest fans. I try to do a lot of stuff that he does. But yeah, it was definitely an event for the day, and I still get like random people messaging me going, "Oh, I watched it, that was cool, blah, blah." And yeah, so it was. It would be cool. It would be cool to get it on again if we could promote the league.
You do a lot of things Nick Saban does, so cheat.
What? I would like more context on that, please, Alex, if you don't mind.
Alex has been hanging around his new head coach. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
That is true. And I also heard he wears Darragh Farrell faced pajamas as well.
God love him. I think that gives Miss Terry nightmares at night waking up to see that.
But to be fair now, Darragh, it's football over here in Ireland now. It's starting to become a hub, you could say, for Europe, because we are getting, like we've just talked about, we're getting the NFL game. We have the college game every year. We have obviously GIF that come over with the high schools and obviously the youth Wolfhounds, So there's definitely you can see just obviously with the popularity how big it's getting year on year. But we're not seeing anywhere else in Europe get these sort of games on the regular with college football and GIF, and now the NFL coming over here. And obviously location helps that we're probably the closest European country to America, so it's kind of just over the Atlantic Ocean in that sense. But the potential for expansion here is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, if you were to how many of us went to America? Like there was a couple of million went over, during the famine. So you talk to any American, like the NFL is not stupid. It knows where to what to tap into. It saw the popularity of Notre Dame. It saw the amount, it's seeing the amount of people that are traveling, that, how many Irish people are in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's Connecticut, isn't it? Is it Connecticut? How many people are in
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania. Sorry, Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania. How many Irish are in Pennsylvania? It knows a lot of people have probably wanted to come visit Ireland, and now their team, the Steelers, are going to come to Ireland. Who's not going to want to go and spend money and go see them? It's like it's a no-brainer. I just hope it goes well. I hope everything goes off without hitch. No, I think it will. We've shown we can host the games. The logistics are there. We have everything in the city. The potential is huge, and it would be brilliant to see one regular season game here every year, because we get kids down to UCD. We've a couple of kids come down. One came down Finn, another kid came down with that. I can't remember, just to watch training, because he loves football so much. He was 9, I think, or 10, and another kid was 12. And they were like, I'm coming to UCD because I want to play football. And like we said to him, like, look, there's U teams, you can play flag, you can do all that. And that all comes from the exposure they're getting on Sky, the games coming over, kids going to watch games. Now the NFL is coming. Nobody knows anything about college football here, but they know who the Steelers are. They know who the Bears are. They know who the Packers are. This could be the one that sets it all off, and that's what I'm saying. I really hope it goes off without a hitch, and, we get a regular season game every year. If London can host it, if Munich can host it, I think Madrid has one as well. There's no reason why we can't do the same. So, I think it could be, yeah, I'm hoping it's the start of many years of collaboration with Dublin and the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I feel sorry for those people that know the Bears and have been forced to follow them. That's a tough exposure there.
Feely's one of them. Feely's one of them, so he deserves
it. But yeah, so moving back then to UCD's side of things.
Sure.
You've got 2 games in a week effectively, because you've also got the Knights coming to town and the week after as well. And are you already preparing for the Knights? Have you already got the lads doing some stuff in preparation for that game as well, or has all the focus sort of been Rebels and making sure you get past that hurdle first before you can even have a look at the Knights?
Short answer, no, absolutely not. But what we will try and do is we will try and do similar game plans, so that there isn't a whole lot of learning. There isn't a whole lot of learning for both, So the Knights, I think the Knights are going to be really good this year. I really like Liam Malone. Is it Liam Malone? Is it Liam? The quarterback?
Liam
I think it's Liam.
Liam
Lee
Moores.
Morris.
Liam Moores. Yeah, I was nearly there. Liam Moores is probably one of the best up and coming quarterbacks in the league. They've got some really good receivers. They've got a big maul and O line. They've got a big running back. You know, I think they're gonna put some teams to the sword this year. You know, but as you say, that being said, Darragh, you still got to get past the Rebels first. There's no point in looking at the Knights and worrying about them. You got to go through the Rebels. You know, so it's just trying to get the game plans to match in a kind of way that it's not too much drop off, you know, that it's similar. You know, the similar offense, not really. You know, you can game plan kind of for both, and you hopefully both covers all. But you know, it's kind of a godsend and a curse that the game is on Saturdays, because we get a day off because we train Mondays, whereas normally we'd have to train Sunday. We game Sunday, play Monday, and we kind of have to take it a bit lighter. But it actually it's doing us a favor that we get the game on Saturday. We can train on Monday. We put helmets and pads on. Normally we do what we call a Fundy Monday, which is fundamental Mondays, where we wouldn't do any playbook. We would just do fundamental football, break it down, work on stance, work on hands, work on, you know, alignment, assignment, that kind of stuff. So this week with the back-to-back games, which I'm a big fan of, by the way, we can really sort of focus on getting ready for both, and we have that week, and the foundations are in. We may have to tweak it a little bit and see what happens, but back on Rian's point, it's two pretty tough games to start. You know, in hindsight, maybe it'd be nice to have a little bit of an easier run at the start, but you know, you still got to play him, so you might as well play him early and get it out of the way, you know, and get the job done. But we're excited. We're looking forward to two good games to test ourselves, you know, and especially as a coach, you want to see what the lads are about early, you know, and we can get ready. And then we have a 3 or 4 week gap in between, so that's a bit of a pain, Alex. So I can probably I can probably see where you're saying with that big gap. You know what I mean? You're kind of get lads ready, you're getting into it, and then all of a sudden you have a 4 week gap. So you probably give a couple of the vets some time off then in the middle, before we really focus and hammer down on playbook for rookies, get guys up to speed, and then kind of ramp it up again. I think it's two other games back to back, or it's a game a week and a game. So there's a bit of spread in it too. So yeah, we'll just try and you just try and make most of the time as you can and get the games in thinking fast. I like the condensed season though. I think it's nice, it definitely does help. But the Saturday games will take a little bit getting used to, in a good and a bad way, you know, and having things on top of that. But yeah, it should be good first 2 games.
Mm-hmm. And last season you played the Knights quite early on as well, and I guess, you know, it was before Liam Moores could really get his sort of feet in the ground properly and maybe get totally comfortable playing and starting reps in the league. And obviously he's gone on to play very, very well. You know, so it's going to be a huge test for him. And I guess as well, like you said, it's going to be a different Liam Moores. Is going to probably be a more experienced and fingers crossed, hopefully a more confident, you know, Liam Moores, that he probably won't have those first few weeks nerves in his system. I think, you know, it's going to represent a new challenge as well, and you know, that's one thing as well that I guess kind of similar to the question I asked about the week 1 game against the Rebels. In an overall sense, you know, if I compare, you know, and I'm sure you'll kill me for comparing yourselves and the Kansas City Chiefs here, but, you know, the Chiefs were going for the 3P, and, you know, they failed a couple of weeks ago, and a lot, the narrative coming out was it's hard to keep the guys up for this game. It's hard to, you know, going to the Super Bowl every year and stuff. Some reports said that players felt like it was a chore, and it's tough for management to try and get their heads in the game. Whereas, you know, you had Eagles who, you know, had that loss a couple of years ago, were hungry, you know, they wanted to really make things right. And, you know, for you, is there ever sort of that worry that is this the year where, you know, things not even beyond your control, that, you know, just this year maybe the hunger might be lacking in a little bit, and that it's vitally important to try and get it back? I know the influx of rookies help, but, you know, it's still, is this something maybe in the back of your mind that you may have to worry about sometimes?
That's a good question. It's something I addressed in the first training session of the season. You know, I felt when we lost in 2023, when we blew the Rebels out in that Shamrock Bowl in 2022 in Belfast, we came in a little bit lax. You know, we did come in a bit lax, and I just had a funny feeling early in the season that we were a bit confident and cocky, and then we played Rebels first game and we lost. That was on me again. Hands up. I was doing some stupid shit that I shouldn't have been doing, and you know, they ran it down our throat, and you know, easy is as it happens. But I made sure to address that, and you know, you need to take mental notes as a coach, and you need to be remembering all the time what happened when you said this and when you did this. So I made sure to let lads know and remind lads, you know, and we've got really great leaders in UCD, really great culture. And, you know, you hear me talking about this every time I come on, is we've got a really strong culture. We have a really competitive culture. And part of that is as well as giving lads time off. So we give vets a lot of time off, that when they eventually do come back, they're hungry, you know, and we don't rush lads back. So when they get back in January or you know, February, they're back and they're ready to go. We're not forcing lads back, and you're not dragging lads out. And you know, it's so when we get lads in, they're ready to rock, and you know, they put the helmets on and they're ready to go. Same in the NFL, and they don't have vets going in for OTAs. You know, you get lads back for training camp, and that's when it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Lads have wives, they have girlfriends, they have kids, they have lives. You know, you need to factor all that in. You know what I mean? And like I always say to everybody, you can miss training. That's fine, you know, for a legitimate reason. You can't stay home if your thumb is sore, or, you know, you've got your ear is sore. But if, you know, you're late for work, or meetings run late, or, you know what I mean, or the kids are sick, or, you know, your missus has dance class, you know, whatever it is, you know, like that's grand. But you have to give them a bit of string, give them a bit of rope, you know what I mean? And they repay it back, you know, and the culture again it's a competitive culture. You know, we want to compete every single snap, every catch, every throw, every block. It has to be competitive. You saw it, Darragh. You were there. You had a quick look on Sunday when you were there. It has to be competitive. And we found the secret sauce is, lads, you can push lads harder, you can get more competitive. If lads are coming down and they're getting 1% better at every single training session or every week, if lads feel they're getting better, they will come back for more. They see improvements, they will come back and they want to get more. And that's where the hunger comes from, you know. So I think on the back of losing that 22 bowl, or sorry, 23 bowl, we learned a lot. Coaches, senior players, senior leadership team, you know, the committee, we know we can't start slow. We know we can't take a foot off the gas. We know we have to be focused early on to get things right, you know. And I do take offense to you comparing us to the Chiefs. I'll allow it, only because I know you and I like you. Don't do that again, please. Anybody else? We have one Chiefs fan on the team. We like to give him a bit of stick and rub it in his face. But no, we're not the Chiefs. But no, I do take it. It's you try not to be complacent, and you know, it's you gotta keep on the lads. And you know, I don't like being an arse and being a hard-nosed coach, but somebody has to, you know, and you have to keep that standard high. And I say to the lads set the standard themselves. They set the standard, I just keep the standard up for them, you know, and we have a great bunch of rookies in there now that are continuing this on, you know, and they're keeping it driving on. So yeah.
Circling back to something you mentioned earlier, Darragh, about preferring the more condensed matches in season. Would it be your preference and UCD's preference, like, to have the shorter season and more games in it, or even just shorten the length of the season? You know, maybe you play 10 games and have only 2 bye weeks in it, so to say. Or what would your ideal sort of structure or idea of the schedule and the leagues be in the AFI?
I think,
on the spot.
No, that's fine. It's a good question. I played in Australia, I played in Germany, where there was 14 regular season games, and they were back to back. You do 7, and the same in Australia. You do 7 7 back-to-backs. So you do 7 Saturdays, you'd have a month off, and you do 7 Saturdays, and then you'd have a playoff if you were going to get promoted, promotion, relegation. Or in Australia, it was the same as here. You would do semi-final, final. So it could be a 16-game season. They do it well there in Australia, and I think there's something in it. Whereas they would host 3 games or 2 games at a centralized venue, and I think that's the way if we wanted to, and I would like to play more games. I think it would be good if we could do it something like that, but it would have to be double headers in a venue like Blanchardstown, or if UCD, or wherever that may be, as a Saturday afternoon and a Saturday evening, something like that. Teams like I don't see why you couldn't do Belfast, UCD, UL Panthers or something, some local teams. It's not too far away, 2-3 hours. It's, put the Belfast game first, and then the local game, the local game later. That gives teams time to go away and get home at reasonable hours and stuff, But I think I'd like to play more games if we could. I'm saying that as a coach. The lads' bodies, you guys' bodies are probably saying otherwise, but you condition to it. You get used to it. I think for other clubs, and it's something that we're seeing early in the season, is pitch availability, it's training facility availability. That's all harder on teams. So I get it. We're very lucky. We're blessed where we are. We've a really good situation with the university. We've an all-weather pitch. We can train when there's, blizzard, snow, no muck. We don't have any of that. You know what I mean? So you're probably you're asking the wrong person, Alex, to be fair, but I do see it from the other side, where I've been in a club where, pitch is waterlogged, you're losing time. If you have a 6-week or a 7-week preseason, you're only training on a Sunday, you lose 2 of them to bloody waterlogged pitches. You're in big trouble.
Yeah, and probably is another argument that probably be made is maybe squad size in the country isn't quite as big as probably it would be in Germany and Australia. I imagine your squads were quite considerable, as they are.
Australia, Australia's about the same. It's about the same as here. Toy tell you that he played in the same league as I did. Yeah. You know what I mean? It would be, but you don't have waterlogged pitches there. You know what I mean? You have lovely. Yeah. There's lots of sand pockets everywhere. You get sand in your eyes and on your hands. But Germany, your squad size would be big. You'd have 35, 40, 45, 50 players. That's just part of it. But again, squad size does come into it. Never mind the young lads, us old boys playing on the line, get more games. Creaky enough, yeah. So again, it comes down to the lads and what they're able to do on squad size and injury, and so I think it's about right with the 8 games. I think it is about right with the 8 games, and then the 2 playoff games. Wouldn't be a fan of the plate stuff. That stuff that goes on for the 4th and 5th. I think that's a bit.
That's small potatoes for you, Darragh. I mean, Jesus.
No, not even. Listen, I haven't always been at the top. And I started UCD. I think we did playoff season. Then we've done a lot of work in the background to get where we are. But I think it's about right. I think it's. Yeah. I wouldn't like any less. And I think if we had maybe 1 or 2 more, would be okay. But I think the 8-game regular season, I think, is just about right.
I think for where we are as a sporting organisation and body at the moment, you're probably right. It is probably right for the situation we're in at the minute. I'd like to see it grow, and I'd like to see a plan in place for it to grow with the hopeful growth of the sport on the island, to get to maybe those levels you're at, because they're kind of the aim. Germany, certainly in Europe, is probably one of the model countries to look at how they.
Yeah, but I mean, typical, if you look at Germany though as well, Germany has no rugby. They don't have sports for big lads. So it's you want to put a helmet on and, push someone around and, knock people down. Okay, here you go. And, anyone that's been to Germany, Germans are built a little bit different than we are. So when you get a big lad in Germany, he could be 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", is fairly regular over there. You know what I mean? And he could be 130, 140 kgs, 150 kgs, so it's, they don't have sports for lads like that. So you get these fellas walking around and at 13, 14, and they're going, hey, do you want to come and play football? And all of a sudden, and that's what happens. They just pull them all in. They pull them on and they get all these huge lads. And if you look at the NFL, what are the German players that get picked up in D1 colleges and the NFL? They're all linemen, because that's just how they're built. You know what I mean? They're just big lads, So yeah. So I think, I think the league is doing well. I think we need to work on coaching. I think we need to invest in coaching. I've made no secret of it that, you know, I think we need to invest in the AFI coaches. I think it's all well and good investing in the youth league, and that's fine. But I think more investment needs to go into AFI senior coaches in the division, the SBC and the Division 1, Division 2, and educating coaches, because we don't have a youth league. We play youth football for 3 months a year, you know, whereas the bulk of our football is played by seniors, you know. And yes, we need to invest in youth, but we also need to invest in what we have. And that will trickle down, you know, and then we can educate players, because you lads aren't all going to be playing in 10 years, but you'll probably be coaching, you know. So why not get people like yourselves into coaching courses, get lads up, bring people in to teach people, you know, whatever. And I think Bill's doing a great job there, in fairness to him. I think he's the right man. He's getting it. He's building it from the ground up. But we need to, you know, look at that and start investing in that side of things before we worry about extra games and new venues and all this stuff. And, you know, coaching education, ref education, coach recruitment, ref recruitment. And when you get that, then we can talk about, you know, 10 regular season games, 12 regular season games, and so on. You know, but there's a lot of small wins or big wins, depending on what way you look at it, that we have to get first before we go worry about getting more games in the season.
Yep. And speaking of investing in coaching and stuff, you yourself and a few of the UCD lads are on the move now this weekend, heading up north to Cookstown for the Causeway Giants. It's Cookstown takeover, but you're going to be helping out coaching there for the day.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, every time I'm on these podcasts, I always say, if any of ever wants any help, you know, let us know. We'd be happy to help out. UCD coach, be happy to help out when we have the time. So far, Giants were the only one that reached out. So, you know, we said, you know, we'd absolutely go. Met Conan there. I think we tried last year, but was just with time constraints with the preseason. And then when we wanted to do it, we had a preseason scrimmage that day. So to be fair to him, he organised it around our schedule this year. It worked out for them, worked out for us. So we're going up, looking forward to it. Yeah, there's a good lot of us going up. There's 5 or 6 of us going up, I think. There's 5 or 6 of us going up. I think Stu and Alex Kuzmarek are up there. They're going to come across as well. They're about a half an hour away. So yeah, there's 6 or 7 or 8 of us going up. I'm not actually too sure. I'll have to double check the group chat. But yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good day of football all around, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just yourselves, a few coaches from around Europe are going to be there too. So another great step, especially for the Giants, who had a really good first year in Division 1 last year, trying their best to capitalize on that and continue to progress forward, and obviously getting yourselves down and you know, and coaching and helping the lads out is definitely going to help. Darragh, we're near the end of the show here. Really appreciate you taking all the time. I initially said it was going to be only half an hour, so you're very patient. Thank you very much for coming.
Phone just started flashing there as well, so I think that's the missus telling me, going, when you finished. I can hear screaming downstairs, so we're probably finishing on just at the right time. So I'm going to get handed 2 little blonde hand grenades and they're just going to put down to bed, you know? So, but listen, always a pleasure, lads. Really enjoy coming on, and I think these are definitely the premier podcast in the country for all you do. So keep up the good work, and look, anything you need from UCD or myself, please reach out to us on socials or reach out to myself, and hope to see you down at a couple of games this year, and we can have a chat in person.
Yeah, excellent. We just had a quick one there. Alec K, Stu, Mooney, Feely, yourself, McVeigh from UCD, the coach joined. So that's the line up there for anyone that was interested in knowing who from UCD is going down. That's going.
Steve Mack is going as well. Eddie Goggins is going. Aaron Mooney is going. So that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of us going up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it should be good. So again, thanks again, lads. I will chat to you in the season during the season. Hope best of luck with your seasons. Stay safe, and let's chat again during the season or at the end. Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, Darragh.
Of course. Best of luck with your season, especially game 1 next week. First week of the season against the Dublin Rebels down in UCD. So if you are around next Saturday at 1:00, head down to check out the game. Free in as always as well for UCD games, and it's always a good crack to watch a bit of American football during the weekend. Lads, we're going to wrap up this edition of the show. Rian and Alex, I really appreciate you coming on this evening and chatting a bit. We will be back next week and looking ahead, of course, to that game between ourselves and, of course, looking to the wider season 2 with the games going to be coming quickly week on week with, like I said, this new condensed season. But until next time, stay safe and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, lads. Good luck.